Welcome back, everyone, to A Gentleman's Life. Sam here, bringing another video to you today. It's been a couple days since I've done any videos, but today we're going to be doing another watch review. So we'll get to that in a minute. It is a beautiful blue sky. It's another hot day in Germany today. It was, it cooled off a little bit yesterday, and then got really hot again today, so I'm guessing we're having a couple more days of heat before it cools off a little bit. So since it's a hot day, I'm kind of being a little casual, if you will. Just not at work today, so relaxing a little bit. I'm wearing the Steinhart Pilot watch today on the NATO. Went walking to town to get some groceries, and figured it's better than sweating up one of my nice leather straps, you know. So yeah, wearing the Pilot watch today, and haven't worn that in a little bit. Really lovely. This will be another review coming up in the next little bit. I've got a couple others as well. I don't know what order I'm going to do all of them in, but today's review, I'll get into that, is going to be of the Steinhart Apollon, which is one of Steinhart's original designs. So without further ado, I'll switch it around to first-person view, and we'll take a look at the Apollon. So here we are, everyone, looking at the Steinhart Apollon. It comes in your standard, white Steinhart box, and then this black Steinhart leather box as well, well protected as usual with the foam, egg foam crate bit that comes in the top. So that's pretty much standard Steinhart fare right there. So let's have a look at the watch. So here we are, we got the watch right here. It comes with your normal, Steinhart fare. This is a little bit different because of the different bezels, which I'll show you in a minute. And your standard little Steinhart booklet as well for movement information. Now, what I'm going to show you today is how the watch comes naturally. I also have a separate Steinhart strap that I purchased and a separate third-party strap as well. So, first and foremost is the watch itself, which you can see here. It comes on a very neutral colored kind of a teal green strap. I'll show you why for that in a minute. But looking at the watch, you can see it has a slightly domed crystal. And you can see it's a pretty chunky watch. So this watch is 45 millimeters in diameter. This one's for the big boys. Big wristed guys who like the big chunky watches on their wrist. And it's also very thick at 16 to 17 millimeters thick. It's almost like a porthole on your wrist. The case is titanium, so that helps save a little bit on the weight. And the design is really distinctive, and that's part of the reason the watch is so thick, is because of the design. And that is that there's an interchangeable bezel. So in the bezel here, you can see these screws. And you can unscrew the bezel, and then it also comes with a DLC stainless steel bezel, and then a bronze bezel, along with the regular stainless steel bezel that's on the watch right now. And I'll show you how it looks with all three of them before we go to the macro view. It runs the mid-grade ETA 2824 movement, and as you can see here, let's see if we can focus on the dial. So it's got a sandwich dial. That silver center portion is a layer below the outer black portion, and your hour markers are cut out of the black section, and then the lume is painted on top of the lower layer of the dial, giving a neat depth effect and just an interesting look. It almost looks like a poker chip the way I have it designed, with the hour markers, the 12, 3, 6, and 9 markers, along with the white dots for the other hour markers, which are a little small, but it's not hard to read. And then with the second markers going around as well. So to me, it almost has like a poker chip type look in that respect. And one thing I will note is there are screws on the dial that hold the different layers together, it looks like. And at first glance, it can seem like it might be a little confusing, but in reality, it's not at all confusing. They don't really sit any place like where an hour marker would sit. You do have the date at the 6 o'clock, as you can see, with the black date wheel. And the hands are stainless steel. You can see the lume on the outer half of each of the hands. The minute hand comes to a point, and then the smaller hour hand has a little pointer coming off of it. The second hand is blue with a nice lume pip, and the blue matches the printing of the model name on the dial. Above the 6 o'clock, where you have the Steinhart logo and name below the 12 o'clock. And then you have all the hour numbers going around the bezel engraved into the bezel, which you'll see in better detail in the macro lens. The case is titanium, as I mentioned. Really nice feel to it. And you can see here that the bracelet is actually screw as well, screw and lugs, which is really nice. The crown is nice and chunky and really matches with the style of the watch. You'll see that better on the macro lens as well. And then the case back is nicely engraved as well. Screw-in case back. This watch does have 300-meter water resistance, so it's perfect for any kind of water activity. You don't have to worry about it at all. I wouldn't truly call it a diver, though. It doesn't have the rotating bezel like you would expect from a diver. It's just a little bit different. So I'm going to put that down for a minute, show you the different bezels available to you. So there's also this stainless steel coated DLC that I mentioned, and this nice bronze bezel which over time develops patina. So you have that as well, and that's why I have so many different straps. I think this one looks really good with the regular stainless steel. The rubber looks really good with the regular stainless steel or with the DLC. You can see here it has a good look with that, which I'll show you in a minute. And then the brown leather I think looks really good with the bronze bezel, and it gives the watch really completely distinctive personalities for the different looks. The watch also comes with this tool for the bezel and strap changing, and for the strap you actually need two, so it unscrews the top and you have two, one for each side. So that's a really nicely thought out bit as well, I thought. So let me unscrew the current bezel and show you the different bezel options, and then we'll go into the macro view. Alright, so as mentioned, here is the regular stainless steel bezel insert. You can see how it looks on the stock strap, and here you can also see how it would look on the black rubber strap as well. Now if I take that off and put the DLC bezel on, so it gives the dial really a completely different look, especially with this the black strap on there as well. Really more of a sport watch type of look. Really interesting. And then if we put the bronze bezel on the watch, you can see a completely different look again, and especially once you put that brown strap on there, really nice look as well. So just really interesting how in one watch you can get almost so many different personalities out of the watch. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to switch to the macro view, and we'll get a close-up look at the watch itself. Alright, so here we are, everyone. Let's get a closer up look at the watch. We will start with the dial here. You can see that inner circular portion. Has that nice gray color. Let's see here, sorry guys. Alright, so here with the dial, we'll start with the dial. You can see this inner gray portion nicely, almost like a brushed look as well, with the applied Steinhart logo there under the 12 o'clock. You can see the little circular counterweight on the second hand, and you can see right here the 6 o'clock Apollon printed in blue to match the second hand, which is right there. The lume pip on the second hand. And your hour hand and minute. You can see they're very well done, nicely finished. Let's look at the hour markers and how the sandwich dial looks. So you can see there the second layer of the dial and the 12 o'clock hour marker, that little like diamond. And the subsequent hour markers, there's the screws I mentioned that are in the dial holding it together. You can see the printing of the seconds is all really nice. There's a 3 o'clock. And the date window down there at the 6 o'clock. Very nice. Swiss made is also right there in blue, just like the printing of the watch model. A better look at one of those screws. But the printing is all really nice. The loom being layered into the sandwich dial is a really nice look to me. So really cool there. The bezel, you can see here how the numbers are engraved in to the bezel. Well finished. With that brushing on the dial. And here's what the outer bit of the dial looks like. And you can see the screw for switching. Switch to the other side, we'll look at the crown. So you can see the crown is signed with the Steinhart logo and has a really good grip. Crown action is just as you'd expect with an ETA. You can see here. Really nice threads there. It's a screw-in crown for the water resistance, like I said, 300 meters. You can see here the finishing on the case. The titanium is blasted rather than brushed. Gives it a really nice tool-like look. Really well done. And you can see the strap changes are. Look at the case back really quick. So you can see the nice engraving there on the case back. Nice and deep. And the buckle that comes on the stock strap. You can see Steinhart is also engraved into there as well, and well nicely brushed. And then the rubber strap. See the Steinhart logo embedded in it. And then you can see the clasp here is really neat on the rubber strap. Cut out and blasted right there. And you can see how it fits together. Right there. So really nice. Alright, so hope you all enjoyed that look at the Steinhart Apollon. Put it on my wrist. So as a reminder, my wrist is 6.5 to 6.75 inches, depending on how much it's swelled up over the course of the day, the heat and things like that, or about 17 to 17.5 centimeters for those of you who prefer centimeters. You can see also that my wrist is it's a thinner, flatter wrist. So I have a small wrist, but it's at least a flat one. So a little bit larger watches fit okay on it. As you can see here, it's flat to the wrist. The lugs curve around a little bit, but it is it's a big watch. It's chunky, and normally I would say if you have small wrists, it may not be for you. If you do have the bigger wrists and like those bigger, chunkier watches, maybe this is something you would love. For me, this is one of the ones I'm going to be kind of moving on. It's not that it's not a nice watch. It's not that I don't like the watch, because I do. But I mean, it's just it's the size for my wrist means I just don't wear it that often. Because it's large, But But for those of you who can wear large watches, definitely something to look at. You know, really interesting and different type of design, and it's a Steinhart, you know, original design, not one of their homage watches, and it's just a really nice quality for the money. You can find it, you know, in the 400 to 500 euro range, which is not bad at all. So yeah, the quality is great, but for me the size is too much. I can really only wear Steinhart smaller watches because they generally do bigger watches, and I'm a skinny guy, so that doesn't work for me. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Steinhart Apollon. So hope you all enjoyed that video. As a heads up with what's coming next, in my next few videos, one of them I'm going to be doing is a comparison review. It's basically it's a review of the new version of the Christopher Ward Trident series, but I'm going to do it as a comparison review to the old version. So I had a Mark I Trident GMT, and then now I'm going to do a comparison review to the Mark II Trident GMT. So that one's coming up, and a few others as well. And then, you know, the other random videos here and there of whatever is going on in my brain at the moment. Yep, so that's pretty much it. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Until next time.